WWE. So Charlotte Flair, much like Naomi, talks about stepping away from wrestling to have children. Now, this isn't a shot at her, but unfortunately she got divorced recently, so I don't know. It would be better. I think it would be better if the parents were married and like that together. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Whatever. Call me. You're a conservative, Phil. You goddamn traditionalist. No, it's just, I don't know. It's very unfortunate, you know, like now you got to like speed date and marry someone and then have kids, or just have kids with someone just because you want to. And I just don't know if that is always the best choice. But hey, man, the birth rates are on the decline big time. So hop on it. We need your genetics around for when the aliens invade. But Charlotte Flair says, I want kids one day. That's the thing. I can do both, but it just depends on the time. I think wrestling's in my blood. I don't know any different. Like, I love it, but I do want to be a mom. But I think Trish Stratus coming back and having all these one-offs, and she's 50, look better than half the roster. She's killing it. So I don't think that door will ever close. It's just, I don't know. I want to step away and have children when the time is. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to be like, oh, ageist or whatever, but like, you know, the time's coming. So get on it, you know? And I encourage that. I encourage anybody who wants to go have children, go and have a bunch of beautiful children. Shayna Baszler's back on WWE TV. She was previously released earlier this year. She has been working with NXT though. And who knows if she's like gonna be on screen again and like in a fighting capacity. This was like a homecoming show, and she does have a big history in NXT. We're going to talk about the through line was this NXT show and the TNA invasion, which again, come on now. We all saw it coming if you watched the show especially, but early on I was like, dude, we need that invasion. At Bound for Glory, I think it's all going to come to a head. I've been saying that. You don't want to miss this Bound for Glory. I've been saying that. And look what's happening. Now TNA talent are tweeting out their displeasure of NXT, and they're getting disgruntled. And the announcement was made that Oba Femi and Trick Williams, two NXT superstars, by the way, will fight each other to like unify the NXT and TNA titles. What a historical time. TNA is going to announce their TV deal. I'm telling you guys that right now, too. I've been on point with all this. And I was on point with all the AAA again. We covered it last show. There's an unnamed producer in AAA. Who's that? Alberto. Guess who's on the posters fighting Mr. Iguana, the most over guy at the next AAA show that's Mexico-focused and based, like I said, and isn't being promoted as a crossover. What did I say? All the AAA shows that aren't like marketed as crossover shows or whatever with WWE, Alberto will be on he's on them. I'll miss click, boom, baby. All I'm saying here is I don't know. I don't think Shayna's going to come back in like a full-time capacity. This is just like she's producing, she's agenting matches. She's at the PC. Have her come on TV for this homecoming. That's what I think this was. But also just this invasion. How amazing. Homecoming, you pick that big show to really ramp it up and have TNA people tweeting about NXT as well. So people are seeing it in the algorithm and they're like, damn, this homecoming show, we're celebrating NXT, but there's all of this TNA commotion going on and they're angry about it. God, they're doing such a good job booking this invasion correctly. Of course, Shawn Michaels and Triple H got to witness how, you know, Vince wasn't able to do it with the top guys and all of that. And also the homecoming intro, they did like the throwback intro and music, but platinum, but Joe Hendry was a part of it. Notice that as well. Again, they let Jordan go technically early to be in the Rumble and just start her WWE contract. Then Joe Hendry has pen to paper as far as him. He's in WWE once his TNA time's done. They may have even silently let that go earlier. I haven't heard any rumors or innuendo of that. That's just, it could have happened. They've done it in the past. That was Scott D'Amore, though, I believe. Or maybe the new Anthem guys were all over that Jordan stuff. I'm not sure. I'd have to see a timeline on that. But either way, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Joe Hendry's in the intro graphics. He's more of an NXT guy than a TNA guy. But really, what does it matter? They're crossing over. Well, it does matter because they're drawing a line in the sand, which is awesome. We feel like this war is real, and they're going to steal the name Invasion. I mean, come on. Either way, we're getting an NXT guy walking away with the TNA and NXT titles, or vice versa. You know what I mean? However, I could see Santana being the one to defeat whoever wins both of these titles, and him winning both titles and repping NXT and TNA, because they love Santana, okay? And that's a guy WWE's banking on getting down the line as well. And that's a shoot, brother. So they're doing awesome stuff. This NXT show was like, damn, like the wrestling, there was a good amount of it. We got the Vaquer and Rhea Ripley double devil's kiss. Booker T just lost his fucking mind. I think we have a fan shot of it. Yeah, it was an amazing NXT, and that invasion situation is sort of the through line throughout this news segment. In fact, we'll just talk about it more. We'll just get into it all and circle back to everything else. But speaking of Stephanie, they wanted to change her theme music. When she went up to the main roster, she contacted Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels made sure she secured her theme. Thank fuck, because it rules. And I hate when they just switch themes up. Speaking of the NXT Homecoming, they had throwback merch on sale for like one night only, which was awesome. Honestly, DIY and Candice LeRae should just stay in AEW, for fuck's sakes, NXT. Stephanie Vaquer commented on Booker T's reactions to commentary. Her and Rhea also both pointed to Booker before they did it. They love that he did it and they love that he does that shit and helps get their moves more over. And I'm sorry if people don't get Booker T as a commentator yet. I don't know, man. I always say, well, it's not for everyone, and I get that. I don't know, man. I think he fucking rules. Him and Vic rule, and they contrast each other. I was gonna say night and day, but maybe right, yin and yang, like black and white, right? They contrast each, but ebony and ivory, if you will. But no, they really do, and it just works, man. It works for everybody. It really does, in my opinion. To me, it's like. Fuck, I don't know. It works, and Booker helped get this move over more. And she says, I love Booker. I miss Booker on Raw because he really made people feel my move. In my last title match in NXT, I saw Booker and was like, this is for you. And then they did it again at Homecoming. Alexa and Charlotte name dropped Paige and Ember Moon. During the opening package, we didn't see Samoa Joe. I don't think we saw Keith Lee either, and we didn't see any Undisputed Era, which sucks because they're all AEW'd up to the max. And that fucking sucks, man, because they were big parts of NXT. We even saw a glimpse of James Storm, the cowboy, which is awesome. Man, they should just fucking bring him into WWE. Where on the main roster, give him a big push? Not even, just like at Mania or something, even just as like the opening match. Just have Cowboys, James Storm's music hit and see if people don't pop, and just fuck it, give him a moment. And he's 2-0 in NXT. So Damian Priest joined Rhea Ripley, Lola Vice, Stephanie Vaquer, and Lyra Valkyria in the ring after WWE NXT Homecoming went off the air.
I can't tell you how happy I am that I got to come out here in front of all of you. This is the place of the birth of Damian Priest.
I remember when Priest was in NXT and he wasn't called Punishment Martinez. I was like, ugh, fucking what the fuck? I didn't have a pod then, obviously, but just in my personal life as a fan, I was like, what the fuck, man? Just call him Punishment. But slowly his character, I always made the joke, like he's become less of the magician Archer and more of Punishment Martinez. He even says it in his promos now. I'm like, he's becoming Punishment Martinez the more his character grows in WWE on the main roster.
Yeah, it's really cool to come out here and see you guys and showing love for us, the past, for the future. This is literally where the stars are born in NXT. This is where we get to have our names live forever, and that's because of all of you. You guys made Damian Priest. You guys made Rhea Ripley. You made so many other superstars that the world loves today, and we can't thank you enough. So from the bottom of my heart, from the new school to the old school, I think we could all agree that we say thank you.
Yeah, this crowd was awesome too. And people are like, they should move back to Full Sail. No, because then this show didn't rule as hard as it did. Jesus. Do you believe Booker T's explanation clears up controversial stories? We'll come back to that. Shout out HBK, who still has a picture of the Undisputed Era. You see Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole Bebe are all there in HBK's office. So, yeah, big ups to Undisputed Era. Like, they were a huge part of NXT, man. And so we talked about this a moment ago, the AAA show as well, front and center. Alberto Del Rio, Alberto El Patron, he's right there. And yeah, dude, I called all this shit. Start a dirt sheet. I'm going to start a dirt sheet with Niccolo Piccolo. Okay? That's what speaking of Damian Priest, he was promoting Slayer, which is kind of cool.
Metal fans, it's been 5 months. 5 long months that I've been waiting for this moment, and it's almost here. This Saturday, I'm hosting Slayer. I mean, you're talking about a full night of metal and fun in Hershey Stadium, Hershey, Pennsylvania. Tickets are still available. Get them at slayer.net. This is a show you cannot miss. Boom.
Awesome. Damian Priest and Slayer. And speaking of NXT, the key demo tied with 3 other episodes since March for Tuesday's homecoming show. NXT averaged 737K viewers, up 13% from last week. The key demo, a 0.17. Collisions doing 0.05. The key demo is the most important, Brian. 21% per Programming Insider increase. Number 10 on all of television in prime time. Year over year, up 9% in total viewers. But the key demo was down 19. They're all on Max. Got to do something about that key demo. Here's the thing. I don't know if the key demo for CW, like the whole key demo talk and all that shit is just people don't, linear's dying. So that key demo almost does not matter. And I'm not joking. Like Dave says it matters. That's why Raj is going to go the key demo. Well, the investors say it matters. Well, what about the people who invest in Netflix? They don't think that. So, or the people who do ads and shit with Netflix. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. So, WWE star Zelina Vega called streamer Cena. I have no idea who this person is. Ahead of an upcoming wrestling stream they're doing together. And let's just take a listen, I guess.
So great. I'm really excited. I want you to know, Chad has been overly excited about it. And all my friends are weirdly happy to see me get beat up, which I'm not really understanding, but that's fine.
I saw that. People keep sending me clips of it. And I think it's hysterical because I'm like, damn, either she's going to do really, really good or it's going to be, we're going to have to hide, some flaws and stuff, but it's fine. It'll be fine.
Well, so I got some bruises from the Sarah fight, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Are they staging a fight? I'm not watching all this, dude. But shout out Zelina Vega. So what Paul Heyman had to say about AJ Lee on First Take, ESPN, Daddy. He says, to be very honest with you, I don't think AJ Lee is in the league of the greatest women's wrestler of all time. Becky Lynch, the first woman so he's just working, to ever main event WrestleMania and win. By the way, she won the match. Didn't just main event it. She won, but, well, he's right. She won the match against Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. I think it should simply be Seth Rollins versus Punk, and the loser keeps AJ Lee. Oh, shit. Paul Heyman hating, dude.
Hey. Let's just be fair. We got a couple haters.
Rhea Ripley gets attacked by Art the Clown at Silver Scream Con. So they took pictures together and all of this stuff. She was on stage. I'm a horror guy. Me and my wife, we love scary movies, and you guys already know I talk about it quite a bit. And the Terrifiers are just like, they're at least, I don't know, man. I can't, it's just like gore corn. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's not good. And even my wife, like, she'll watch horror movies that I'm like, these are just fucking terrible. And she's like, no, it's good. Da, da, da. And even she's like, I can't even watch the first one. It's just so like, it's just like Saw. It just got, the Saw series, that shit just got stupid after a while. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm not hating on anyone who's a fan. I'm just like, I don't get it. And it's this thing that like got popular by accident, which I'm not hating on either. But she's a big fan and she got killed. She was selling it. I don't know this video. I don't know. We just saw it. She got murked there on stage. Here is her meeting Art the Clown.
You have more than that. You figure out who's not going to be out there. Only people can follow you in the follow-up area. In session 2, with Art the Clown, children.
Yeah, there you go. Living out a childhood dream. Speaking of childhood dreams, mine were shattered when I read this quote from Bret Hart because he's still just so goddamn bitter. And he's the fucking GOAT, and he's just still so mad. So Bret Hart described Triple H as a guy I had very little respect for. Now, here's the thing. These guys have personal relationships. Again, like anybody who hates Triple H, I don't blame them if they hate Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Like these guys, you know, these guys were in the locker room together and had to deal with politics and stuff like that. That's not for everybody. Some people don't like that shit and it's going to stick with them forever. And then when you become boss, it's like, it's unforgivable, right? There's no forgiving that. So Bret Hart says, Triple H, I wish he'd been in the dressing room when I knocked Vince out because he might not be married to Stephanie. What the fuck does that even mean? During the Manchester leg of Hart's current Inside the Ropes tour, Bret also said there isn't a single Triple H match he would consider great, and he called Paul Levesque a phony who became Vince's hit guy. Damn. Yeah, he just doesn't forgive him for blatantly lying to Bret Hart's face about him knowing about it. Because the reason, like, he knew about it 100%, Triple H did. Unfortunately, Bret is still bitter over that shit. What Triple H match would you consider great, though, chat? Let's really think about it. I'm trying to think of, like, one where I would go, that's a great match. Him versus Hulkster was, like, good. The thing with Triple H is, because, like, besides, I guess, Scott Hall, like, Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels in that latter match, like, name a great Razor Ramon match either. Like the 1, 2, 3 Kid one, but that was kind of just like the shock of it. It's not like that match was, well, I guess that's what makes a match great, though, you know, the memorability factor, the memorabilia factor. But someone's got to wear that diaper, pal. But there's a lot of wrestlers where they were like, Triple H was in the mix with everyone. He was in the mix with like all the top guys and helped make them look good and help cool them off when they needed to a little bit and then heat them back up. So you got to give credit to that. And he's just a real ring general. Now, I'm going to be honest, when Triple H was on the Reign of Terror and he was like wrestling Scott Steiner and I remember that Scott Steiner match sucking so bad and me just thinking in my head, like, what the fuck is wrong with Scott Steiner? He's only doing one move, the original Suplex City. Right. I remember thinking that, but I loved his Reign of Terror. I didn't hate his matches with Goldberg and because I was just such a Mark fan at the time still. It was like, oh, the Elimination Chamber, this rules. I'll say a great Triple H match was the 3 Stages of Hell with Shawn Michaels. Like, I really loved that. Some of his performances in Rumbles and like Elimination Chambers and Hell in a Cells and shit, I would say were fucking top notch. But those are gimmick matches, so do you consider those great? I don't know. It's an interesting conversation, no less. Paul Heyman makes his first appearance since he was attacked by Roman Reigns at WWE Clash in Paris, joining Seth Rollins on ESPN's First Take.
Let me get back to you. You've been a part of crucial returns in the WWE, Cody Rhodes.
Stephen A. Smith. Bro, this guy got into MMA and got clowned so hard. Now he's going to get into WWE. He's actually good for WWE, Stephen A. Smith, because he can bullshit. You know, he works everyone with his sports shit anyway. So him working people in wrestling's funny.
War Games and now AJ Lee at SmackDown. How important is it to you to be a part of these important storylines?
How important is it to me?
Yes,
or
to
how important is it for the company and the people coming back to be in the ring with me? I am a moment-making machine. The company knows it. The industry knows it. And these people coming back, they want to feed off of what I bring to the table.
And what do you bring to the table, sir? Remind the audience of what you bring to the table.
I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins, the world heavyweight champion 6 times over. I am the greatest superstar, not just of my generation, but of any generation in the history of this company. When it's all said and done, when I hang up the boots, when I put the robe on the shelf for the very last time,
my dream match is Prime Jericho versus Prime Seth Rollins, and not like my all-time dream match, but maybe we don't use the word dream match, but just like what if matches for Seth Rollins. My 2 are him versus Prime Jericho, and then him versus Prime RVD.
Be on the Mount Rushmore of this industry, no question about it. That's what I bring to the table. I'm the Stephen A. Smith of WWE.
I like
if you
that.
will.
I mean,
there you go.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. I appreciate.
And then Heyman's there, and then he shot on AJ Lee there. So WWE Raw saw an increase in views, but a dip in the number of hours viewed for last week's episode. So again, if Dave Meltzer, they're cooking the books, they're working the numbers, Brian. Okay, so the 1 week they had a large increase in minutes viewed after the show, but they had a lower live viewer tally. They could have worked the books there. They didn't. Netflix just admitted what it was. Again, we're seeing Dave getting owned, looking like a dumbass. Okay. What does he say? What happens here, Raj? They got an increase in overall views live, but a dip in the number of hours viewed for last week's episode, featuring AJ Lee's first Raw. So they could have fixed the numbers again if they're lying and have just said, oh, well, and they could point to their increase in viewership and go, the minutes were up as well. But they're not doing that. And Dave is just fucking being made to look stupid time and time again. They're up 4%, down 2% in the hours viewed. So, like, that's nothing. The show ranked 6 in the U.S., 5 from the prior week, and it was 8 globally, which was even. It was higher than that the night of on Canadian Netflix, at least. Ricochet talks about Samantha Irvin's decision to leave WWE, and he's just coping, man. Coping and seething.
Shortly after you left, Samantha Irvin, who's tremendously talented, and that clip of her, there was a period there, WrestleMania 40, her call of Cody winning, and you would see all these other, like Michael Buffer, all these people are like showing her props. It's like, holy crap, she is becoming a superstar here and getting the love and respect and admiration that she deserves. I think everyone thought that she would eventually follow you to AEW. Could you tell us if there has ever been any serious consideration of her being a part of
Tekla's cool as shit.
AEW?
I mean, she probably would consider it for sure, but I think right now she honestly was thinking about leaving and kind of letting it be known a little bit that she wanted to leave before I was even, honestly, like 6-7 months before I was even like,
oh wow,
you know what I mean? She was already kind of thinking about it because, again, like, I'm sure, like, she not that she didn't like announcing, she loved the actual fact of like being there front row, like, but like for her, saying like someone's waiting hometown wasn't like her dream, you know what I'm saying where someone's from and they're waiting, that wasn't her dream. So she had made it a little obvious that she wanted.
So what's the dream? I don't mean to be an asshole, but like making mid songs with Swerve, you're felted, but
to do more. And people, even like Paul Heyman's pulling her aside and talking to her and telling her, it's possible. And she's talking to like Michael Hayes, and Michael Hayes was like, you want to learn more, don't you? She's like, absolutely. He goes, I can tell you want to learn more. She's like, absolutely. So she would let it know like she wants to do more. And when she kind of, again, just knew, like, they knew, man, like, we have such a good thing with you right here, though. Like, it's, again, because she was so good at it. But again, you got to think, if you had Mariah, I know people are going to throw me to the wolves for saying this, but if you had Mariah Carey be a ring announcer, it's going to be awesome. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because one time
No, it wouldn't be awesome. We would go, Mariah Carey needs to be a singer and on stage, putting on beautiful stage shows and having the charisma of a fucking super mega star that everyone's drawn to. She can sing so good, man. It's the same with the wrestling mentality. Oh man, it's physically more the moves, the technicality. Ricochet can do things other wrestlers can't. Gives a shit. Work top guy speed. It's the same, bro. Your wife can sing amazing. She sings incredible. She fucking Mariah Carey, bro. And I get the analogy. Like, I'm not even shitting on comparing yourself, whatever, even though Mariah's like the greatest, one of the greatest of all time. So that's wild, but it's more than just singing good. It's more than being able to do fucking backflips and do Canadian destroyers that make you a good pro wrestler. It's more than just singing good. That's why Taylor Swift is the #1 fucking artist. You know what I mean? Mariah's like such a fucking megastar, dude. It's so crazy. Is that so? Like, her dream is to make music. Okay. Did you honestly hear the shit she was doing with Swerve and go, that's tight, babe? That's tight. Come on, man. It's a hit. It's a smash hit. We got one. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Walked up on her, like I was in the bowl. She was sitting at her chair, and I was going to walk up and just say hi. And she was like face down writing in a book. And I walk up behind her and I see what she's writing, and it's like a whole like the music notes, like the lines and everything. And she has like music notes laid out. And I'm like, what are you writing? What is this? You writing like a song? She's like, no, like it's like Rhea Ripley. So it's like phonically or whatever, like how it's going to sound in her head when she says Rhea Ripley.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So she was like thinking about things like that. And she was thinking about when the beat drops and like trying to say everything before the beat drops. That way.
Yeah, it sounds like she's the greatest ring announcer of all time. It sounds like she could be one of the GOAT ring announcers of all fucking time. She's thinking about it in this profound fucking way. Holy shit, maybe she should have kept fucking doing it because it gave so much to other people. She go down in history as the GOAT at it. She's not going to go down in history as Mariah fucking Carey. I'm so sorry. Not even trying to be rude about it. And well, it's her dream and her thing. Okay, the only reason that door's even open to be like, I'm going to get back into music after that door was slammed in her face on these fucking talent shows she was on. If she was Mariah Carey, you don't think Simon Cowell would have went, she's Mariah Carey and fucking signed her? Like, the reason these doors were slammed in her face was to open this one where she's like the GOAT. She found, I don't know, I've harped on this before and I'm not even trying to be shitty. Samantha blocked me for saying this shit, so I understand. Like, you know, who am I to tell? And I don't want to tell anybody like what they should do with their life, but I'm just saying, like, is that not a valid point, what I'm saying? And then she parlayed it to go make songs with Swerve, who's like, what the fuck? He's not even good, dude. Jesus Christ. And do what? Like, that's the other thing. What is she doing? She announced a Stevie Wonder show. Did you guys see that? We covered it on the show. She announced, so since announcing wrestling, she announced a Stevie Wonder show. Whatever the fuck. So what is she doing? Like, you guys know what I'm saying? Like, what is the dream then? Just announcing for like not WWE? I don't know, man.
When the beat drops, like the guy goes, or like she was trying to think about all these things, and she was trying to think about where someone's from, and you know, she was trying to think about their character, and she was trying to think about all this stuff, and all that was fun. But she wanted to like put that effort into like a character. She wanted to put that effort into like if I can make these people feel this way.
She wants to be the star. She wants to be on TV and be the character on the show. Managing wrestling. She already tried wrestling. She wasn't good enough. She had the tryouts and shit. She went through the PC and all of that. And it just, they're like, no, you're not. We don't want you bumping around and shit. You be a ring announcer. Okay, Brandy Rhodes had the same path. And she went and wrestled and shit, and she wasn't that fucking good. I'm sorry. Was she the best ring announcer ever? No, she wasn't the best at that either. Fortunately, Brandy might not be the best mind or best suited anywhere in the... I think she's a great valet for Cody Rhodes. I think that's what she always did best in the business. And she can talk, you know, but then she does these like, oh, I'm going to start a faction with Awesome Kong. Like, anything she's really done in ring hasn't been that good. And anything she's done character-wise hasn't been that good other than just being Cody Rhodes' valet. So it's sort of that thing with Samantha Irvin, like, oh, she wants to be the main character, K. So in AEW, they're going to give her a match like they gave Aubrey one because they had to fucking do it. because we all knew that was her hopes and dreams. And before they told her to chill out in ring with her stupid facials and her shitty reffing, they let her have one big blow off match to fucking get it out of her system. That's what they're going to do for her too. I don't know, man. It's about being a position player in WWE, I suppose, you know? And Samantha Irvin wanted to win America's Got Talent. She wanted to win The Voice or whatever the fuck. And all those doors got slammed in her face. So what makes her think like, well, I'm the GOAT in WWE at ring announcing. Now I'm just going to go back to that world and try and do it again. And I'm not, again, go ahead. Go the fuck ahead. Hey, man, the entertainment business, you get told no way more than yes. You get way more doors slammed in your face than open. And you got to keep knocking on them until they open. I firmly believe in that too. But I just felt like, damn, man, you found your thing. And then Ricochet being fucking the way he is, that door might close now. That door might be fucking closed because of all the shit he's talking on Twitter. When Samantha realizes one day after she's talking about how her next single gets suppressed again. It was suppressed by YouTube. Is that why the Spotify numbers are so low too, dude? I don't know. I don't know about that, man. I think it's fucking, anyways, I'm harping on this too
just
long.
Announcing, what do you think like I could do in like a promo or something, or makes people feel, so that's kind of, and then when she kind of just knew it wasn't really not a possibility, but it wasn't going to happen, or I think she wanted to get out of it, so she had really started thinking about it before. And again, I know people think she left for like music, but she didn't like leave for music. She's actually always done music. She's been in show choir and drama club since I've been wrestling. She's 20, 30 years, you know what I mean? She's always done music. She actually had an album, 27 Underground, that came out like 2015 or 16. Like, she's always done music. So what she's doing now is again, kind of like me. I'm just going back to the stuff that I did on the indies that kind of got me popular. That's kind of what I'm doing now. And same thing with her. Like, music's kind of always been her thing.
Going back to what I did on the indies that got me popular for a shitload of money on maybe not TV soon.
But I think she was just kind of felt stuck at this role because she's an actress. So she was playing the role of a ring announcer, if that makes sense, And it just happened. She has one of the best voices in the world. And she also grew up a huge fan of wrestling. She grew up, her dad, since she was, able to watch TV, she's been watching wrestling. And so she knows the characters, and she knows, how Finkel would announce them. And she knows how the characters have their own personality. So all that stuff helped. But I think she was always kind of wanting to go. And then I think once I finally departed, I think that was kind of just the straw. And I think she just kind of made up her mind after that.
So you didn't talk to your wife about any of this?
Shortly.
Obviously you guys planned to dip out together. Okay, let's be fucking real here. So Dana White had this to say about WWE on the Impulsive podcast. He was keeping it real.
Do you watch it as a fan or as someone who understands the business and are watching it more from an entertainment standpoint?
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't watch WWE. I don't watch it. It's not.
Yeah, dude. Anyone who knows anything about Dana knows that.
So I'm into fighting, man. That's what I do. You know how when you go on Instagram and then you go on your search page, my whole search page is like street fights. And, that's what I'm into. I am definitely, I respect the athleticism it takes. I told you when you first started doing it, I said, man, you're a hell of an athlete. You're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's impressive to see what these guys do. It's just not my thing. When I was younger, I liked it.
I totally get it. I'm not sure how much overlap there is between UFC fans and WWE fans.
Right.
Everything's a niche now, man. They were playing at the Canelo and Crawford fight. They put up like the UFC highlights from their UFC Noche event on the screen, and the fans started booing it. Like boxing, MMA, everything is a niche, but everything's like there's levels to the niches, and the overlap, I think, is there a little bit. Some marks like myself, but a lot of people, I think, like scoff at one or the other. You know what I mean? ESPN, speaking of scoffing, no, ESPN will produce 2 of its own WrestlePalooza pre-event shows. The first is an ESPN WrestlePalooza special on Friday, September 19th. Then on Saturday, September 20, Road to WrestlePalooza, an on-site pre-event show, will air on ESPN social media. Lance Storm said he didn't like John Cena's promo on Raw and doesn't like that Cena's still calling himself the last real champion. He says, I didn't like it. I find the last real champion absurd. It was a heel gimmick when he said he was going to ruin wrestling by taking the championship away so that it would destroy the lineage, ruin the wrestling business, and there would be no more real champions. And now as a babyface, he's still claiming to be the last real champion. Like, that's completely insane to me. Part of me, yeah, I don't like that either. He says, is Cody Rhodes not a real champion? I thought Cody was important. So there you go. John Cena's remaining 6 dates. September 20th at WrestlePalooza versus Brock, Crown Jewel in Perth, Raw, Survivor Series War Games, Saturday night main event, which is in Washington. It says to be decided here, but it's in Washington, I believe. It's almost over. It's crazy. Just enjoy the last bit of John Cena shit. Let him say whatever the fuck he wants to say. It doesn't matter. Let him do it because... yeah, this man has laid his fucking body on the line for this business one too many times, pal. So WWE writer Road Dogg Brian James responds to public posts from Rey Fenix. So basically Rey Fenix posted how, like, not that he had an opportunity ripped away from him, but just like, yeah, just animo, basically. Good spirits, like, I'm hoping to do big things if you give me the chance, blah, 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 whatever. And then Road Dogg, he wrote back to him. He's like, yes, we have big things planned for you. So I think they're really going to push the shit out of Rey Fenix, and Andrade might have fucked himself a little bit there. No Mercy, WWE No Mercy on September 27th, which we'll be watching PWT Universe the week after All Out and WrestlePalooza this Saturday. Guys, I'll be streaming the entire All Out and WrestlePalooza events back to back here at PWT, so make sure you guys are tuned in and locked in here. The current setup is for 1,386. They've sold 1,200 tickets, so it'll be a sellout for the setup, and hopefully they do around 2K or something like that. SmackDown ratings took a dip last Friday, down 17%, down 27% week to week. The Colorado-Houston game, so there were games on. I don't know. It is what it is, man. It's that season. It's that time of year. We've talked enough ratings tonight. Aries will present the first ever EMF friendly match at WWE WrestlePalooza. What the fuck is EMF? An Airs Life Tune Zone Max will be present on each ring post during the Usos versus Braun Breaker. Huh? What? Who? What? This guy, WWE is really garbage. Really is garbage. Why are they garbage? EMF gadgets like phones and Wi-Fi. They're sponsoring the first EMF friendly match, the Usos versus Braun Breaker versus Bronson Reed, with their LifeTune Zone Max devices on each ring post to supposedly neutralize EMF in the area. What? An electromagnetic field? Yeah. Forget barbed wire ropes. It's an electromagnetic field. Magneto is the referee. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. They're just thinking of crazy shit. So Traders dominates with 5 Emmy wins. Nikki Bella becomes first WWE Hall of Famer behind an Emmy win. That is fucking crazy, man. Shout out Nikki Bella and the Traders. I haven't seen that. So from Nicolo Piccolo to Ciclo Piccolo, John Alba. Put that one in the PWT lore on Discord, right? Fucking John Alba here, dude. Well, there's a WrestlePalooza media call that goes on, right? On counter-programming events, ESPN's Matt Kenny says they were laser-focused on launching. Well, no, we'll talk about John Alba in the Sicko segment, okay? Forget that for now. That's in the Sicko segment, but it's so fucking ridiculous what he asked. I can't wait to get to it. But on WWE counter-programming events, ESPN's Matt Kenny says they were laser-focused on launching WWE. They knew they wanted a marquee event in September. It had less to do with competition, more to do with serving WWE and its fans on the platform. I'm fucking telling you guys, they don't give a shit They don't give a fucking shit about AEW. They don't give a fucking shit. They're about to bully them off TV and take 100% market share. That's what TKO's doing. Okay. Raw on November 10 sold 9,420 tickets. 420, man. And their current setup is for 11,144. I assume they'll sell that out, but they're doing like some lighter houses. Lighter 10K tickets sold, right? SmackDown sold 4,800. Current setup 7,100. This is on October 3rd. So like about a little under a month away. And sickos are taking victory laps. And they are doing like half setup. They're bringing the tarps out too, man. Bring them out. Bring them out. It's hard to talk when the tarp's in your mouth, right? They're bringing the fucking tarps out. WWE will be a little bit as well. And it's because of these fucking ticket prices, man. And it won't be an L ultimately, though, because they'll just adjust and then the houses will be packed again. And yeah, hopefully the North American economies can get their shits together, too, just overall. Speaking of overall, CM Punk says that Logan Paul isn't top 100 overall wrestlers of all time whatsoever. And he says if he wants to get offended at that, that's fine. But it's true. Logan Paul isn't in the 100 greats of all time. He's just fucking incredible for where he's at in the business right now. His body of work so far is like an A+++. You know, he's fucking batting 1,000. I don't think he's had one bad match. I don't think Logan Paul's been in one bad fucking wrestling match. I'm not joking. But he's a newbie still, you know? No way he cracks the top 100.
Logan Paul? No. Not even top 100. Very, very, very good, very skilled. Picked it up very, very fast. But
he's got a lot of work.
You're talking you're talking to a wrestling history buff.
Of course.
So I'm gonna
yeah.
And if he wants to get offended at that, that's fine.
Great. New feud.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
ESPN, they got asked if they were interested in acquiring some of the WWE archives. Kenny says the contract is mostly related to the current PLE library, which will grow over time. In regard to archive content, he would direct that question to WWE. And again, you guys will see in the sicko section, like, these motherfuckers are asking ESPN questions that have nothing to do with them, and it's hilarious. Because they're such marks. They're asking them about AEW. No one cares about AEW. Mike Santana, at Santana_proud, says also to keep it real with everyone, I'm pretty sick and tired of all the WWE. NXT has control over TNA and can do whatever they want. So again, this is building up to the invasion. We can't wait for it here at PWT. I'm fucking excited for it. I don't know who else isn't. How could you not be? Speaking of excited, Torrie Wilson talks about a spot where she didn't feel so excited in WWE, and she talked about a couple of those. One of her talking points as of late, like every interviewer is like, oh, you didn't like this one thing you had to do. And she's like, yeah, no, I didn't. But different times.
Like, I'm wondering if there was ever something that you said, this is too much, like this is a bridge too far. Because like, I don't know what that line was. Clearly looking back, like you were willing to be a team player and a company woman, but did you ever say, this one I can't do?
Yeah, there was a couple times. One in particular, the Judgment Day pay-per-view bikini contest against Sable. Originally, Vince wanted me to do the hand paint on my boobs. And
you can trace my hands. Come over. My hands are the perfect size. Yeah, dip them in goo and let me grab those puppies.
Sable had done in the past, and I didn't feel comfortable doing that. So I was like, how about rhinestones that barely cover my nipples? Don't ask me why. That felt a little more safe than the paint. But looking back, I see myself.
Some rhinestones, yeah. How about a couple of pearls? How about a big old pearl necklace to cover? Jesus fucking Christ, Vince.
I've only seen myself in a thong bikini a few times out in front of the crowd. And those times really do kind of make me cringe. Just seems like a lot. And then sometimes I you can see kids in the crowd and it just feels like this is wrong.
Yeah, that's where it's fucked up, right? Because people will say, oh, well, she did Playboy shoots. Yeah, but that's a lot different. You know what I mean? And Playboy was so tasteful as well. It was like the tasteful nudie mag. They had legitimately well orchestrated interviews, really good thought out articles and stuff like that. They did. And then there was, they would get like the people to go nude, that Roseanne Barr. It's like, who even wants to see that? I don't know. Playboy's got it though, but that's different than like pulling your ass cheeks out in front of fucking little kids, man, And again, a lot of that era wasn't the most tasteful in general, And it's not like all for the kids and shit, but you don't have to go full sicko mode. Although that shit does sell, like sexiness does sell, and I'm a proponent of it. And they are bringing a bit of it back. But yeah, I can do without bra and panty matches. They're so ridiculous. Just the concept of like, what was the other one? A nightgown match, even with dudes, a tuxedo match. Like that's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? So the whole stripping each other to win, I just think it's like the blindfold. We put the bags over each other's heads, pal. Like when has that really worked? Since like a territory back in the day where there's no internet, so I can't confirm. There was no cage match rating on it. No, just joking. Nick Khan has officially confirmed Italy to host a premium live event in 2026. The global takeover continues. And so Las Vegas Convention paid WWE $5 million to host WrestleMania 41, right? The Saudi government is paying $250 million to host WrestleMania. Now, again, Niccolo Piccolo said it. He's like, it's streets are saying it's $250 million. That's pretty much been confirmed now. So this is why they're going to Saudi. They don't give a fuck. They're greedy fucking whatevers. Yep. I mean, it's a goddamn company. Now, I'm not going to applaud this shit. I don't I don't give a fuck where they hold the show. Tickets are going to be 70 grand or whatever. I don't need it. But Dave saying 100 million blows up in his face, more like 250. Right? So speaking of WrestleMania 43, Booker T comments on WrestleMania 43 taking place in Saudi. He says, it's about dollars and cents at the end of the day, man. And it's about the talent and being able to create a lot of revenue to pay these guys. Oh, yeah. Hopefully they're making the most money that they've ever made in their lives, because the thing is, it doesn't last forever, and you want to make as much money as you possibly can out of this thing and be ready to parlay it into something else. So for me, I get it. For the people that's upset, I understand their gripe. But for me as a businessman, this is what I say. What would you do? Exactly. For all the people who say, Tony pays the wrestlers and it's good for the business. Okay, then it's good for the fucking WWE talent for them to go get paid to do this fucking show. Booker T says that a lot of guys are really ticked off about WrestleMania. And shout out Hall of Fame podcast, by the way. Go and check that out. No WrestleCon. That's what a lot of guys are really ticked off about. That WrestleCon is going to be preempted for 2 big shows. So there's a lot of upset people out there right now. I get it. It's about dollars and cents at the end of the day. It's about the talent creating a lot of revenue to pay these guys. And yeah, people are pissed about WrestleCon. Okay, why is that WWE's problem? So Booker T clears up some controversy, though. So he accuses fans of making up stories to cancel him over a misheard NXT remark. And so he said, I got to pop my neck, man. And people tweeted it out. This was last week. People were like, did Booker T just say, I got to pop my dick, man? My dick? Yeah, he said, I got to pop my dick to Stephanie Vaquer. And Booker's like, they're making up stories to get me canceled. And it's like, it's not even that. They're just redacts. They just want to be edgy and put the fucking tweet out so that they get the clicks for it, And speaking of clicks, Seth Rollins not getting too many on this punch machine here, testing his knockout power on the UFC's punch machine. Do they test it in Ford Escorts or whatever, like they did for Ngannou? I'm curious.
Come on, baby, come on.
So he didn't even hit You didn't even hit 2, but you always get 1 warm-up punch minimum, you know? You didn't even beat second place though. Speaking of comedy and hilarity and funny things happening, Triple H was on Kill Tony, and I watched the whole thing. It was actually pretty fucking funny. Triple H was pretty funny. It was a solid episode because like the bucket pulls and shit were pretty solid. There's been some stinker Kill Tonys, like the week before was pretty bad. The one before that was really funny, but Carrot Top, I don't know, his dumb props just, there's a reason he has a fucking residency in Vegas and he gets paid what he does. Like, it's like a novelty thing, but just seeing him pull these fucking props out was just popping me. And Triple H can hold his own, you know? And so here's just a couple clips of it. Triple H was actually really funny throughout the show. WrestlePalooza was sponsored. I don't know if Tony Hinchcliffe was just plugging it so much because Triple H was on the show. But again, when we talk about what Niccolo Piccolo had to say and how he broke down the conservative alignment, and I mean, come on, the whole Joe Rogan sphere, like they take credit for fucking getting Trump elected and shit. I'm not getting political. I'm just saying this would fit that narrative as well. Like if ESPN, it is one of the, I think the #1 comedy podcast or live podcast or whatever every week, because there's an audio version of it. And it's like the top downloaded one in like the comedy section or whatever. So maybe they're looking at, maybe they did sponsor it because Tony was plugging it like he's reading it off a card. WrestlePalooza, Brock Lesnar, John Cena, main event. And it wasn't just like a guy fanning out. It was ESPN's new direct-to-consumer, whatever the fuck. Like they were ad reads, dude.
You know that picture is going to be on the internet of me sitting there looking at Carrot Top shit hanging out of his towel.
Yeah, Triple H was funny. He actually had a lot of fucking jokes and callbacks to comedians and shit. He got asked by a guy named Uncle Laser, I think his name is. He's wearing a DX shirt and he's a comedian who's a big wrestling mark, and he asked Triple H a real actual question. It's a played out question, but I don't know. Triple H gave a good answer.
But can I ask a real question though?
Yeah. At first, we were threatening to get fired every week. So I'm sure you get it.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
I'm sure you get it. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, dude. Triple H can riff with the best of them. Speaking of riffing, happy, ladies and gentlemen, it is Rusev Day, but it's also Wrensday here at PWT, and happy Wrensday. I guess there's a conspiracy of it.
Hey guys, happy Wrensday. I'm here with Charles. Come on, Charles. Everyone likes to see you.
Yeah, of course. You're all right, Ren.
I have a question from the Wrensday viewers. It says, Charles, have I been more bearable lately?
You know what, Ren? You actually have. I don't know what it is, but you're glowing today. You just, I want to be around you. Normally I don't. And your Texas drawl's really coming out more stronger.
Charles. I am from Texas.
What are you doing?
Oh my God. How dare she?
You said this was more bearable? Stop doing something. What are you?
I gotta go, guys.
Where did you get my jacket? Never mind. Just take my microphone. Yes.
Real loud into it, yes.
Hey guys.
Okay, so Wrensday just got hijacked, and that was WWWF News.